The ground trembled. Not the familiar tremor of a distant storm or a heavy wagon, but a deep, resonant thrum that vibrated up through the soles of their worn boots, rattling teeth in their skulls. Dust motes, caught in the late afternoon sun, danced wildly in the air, a golden haze descending upon the village square. What in the name of the ancestors is that? Ilara, her hands still coated with flour from the day's baking, clutched her husband's arm. Her knuckles blanched. Gareth, a burly smith whose hammer usually drowned out all other sounds, stood frozen. His gaze, usually sharp and assessing, was wide with disbelief, fixed on the jagged peaks to the east. The tremors intensified, each pulse a hammer blow against the earth. A low groan, like a mountain in agony, ripped through the air, growing in volume, gaining a terrifying, guttural quality. "Look!" Old man Hemlock, his voice a reedy gasp, pointed a trembling finger. His eyes, usually clouded with age, were now pinpricks of stark terror. A shadow, vast and impossibly dark, detached itself from the mountain range. It unfurled, a canvas of scale and sinew, blocking out the sun. A collective gasp, ragged and thin, tore through the assembled villagers. The shadow grew, descending with an unnatural speed, resolving into a shape that defied all logic, all myth. Dragons? A young boy, no older than 7, whimpered, burying his face in his mother's skirt. His voice was a tiny, fragile thread against the monstrous roar that now rent the sky. Not just one. Gareth's voice, usually a booming command, was a hoarse whisper. His hand instinctively went to the hilt of his blunted ceremonial dagger, a futile gesture. 2 of them. Their scales shimmered, obsidian and emerald, catching the dwindling light. Their wings, vast leathery sails, beat the air with a force that sent gusts tearing through the village, ripping thatch from roofs, scattering market stalls. Their heads, crowned with wickedly curved horns, swiveled, eyes like molten gold surveying the tiny cluster of human dwellings below. "They're coming straight for us." Ilara's breath hitched. She pulled her children closer, shielding their small bodies with her own. Her heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat of dread. "Run!" Someone screamed, a raw, primal shriek. But where? The mountains, their only escape route, were now the dragon's perch. The forest, usually a sanctuary, seemed too small, too vulnerable. Panic erupted. Villagers scattered like startled birds, their frantic cries swallowed by the dragon's thunderous approach. "Stay together!" Gareth bellowed, trying to rally the disintegrating group. His voice, usually so commanding, was lost in the chaos. A dragon, the obsidian one, dipped its head. Its snout, crusted with ancient rock and something that looked suspiciously like dried blood, lowered towards the village well. A plume of smoke, acrid and sulphurous, snaked from its nostrils. "It's thirsty." Hemlock, surprisingly, found a strange calm in the face of absolute terror. He watched, mesmerized, as the colossal beast drank, its throat rippling with each swallow. The well, usually a bustling hub, now seemed like a tiny teacup in its monstrous grasp.